When legacies are written, when names are remembered, and when champions are made. And when that fall air turns electric on Halloween nights, when the lights come on, we'll be ready. Together, united, and unbreakable. You know what's next. Come on, here we go. Coming to you from Conger Field on the Heritage Hall Football.
Good evening, Charger fans, and welcome to Purcell High School here in Purcell, Oklahoma. Your 7-1 Heritage Hall Chargers taking on the 2-6 Purcell Dragons. Justin Evans here with Steve Charge.
I've been ready to go. I'm excited to call with you tonight.
I think maybe the last time we were together was the big kick down in Newcastle for the Marlowe game, right?
Marlowe in the semis, right?
I think it was. So good to see you once again. Yeah. And we've got a big ball game here, you know, obviously district implications, everything. We've got 2 games left on the season, and so this is going to be one where you want Heritage to just come in and take care of business.
Well, it is, and the Dragons are having a rough season at 2-6. And so, like you say, we should be able to do that. But, you know, the beauty of this game and the hard part of football is you get one every week. You have a bad one in baseball, as you know, or basketball. You get to play another 2 nights later, and you get to erase it. So good, bad, medium. You only get one shot a week, and that's what's
it sounds like it's a discipline has to happen. You have to be disciplined in your assignments and just take care of what is your responsibility when it comes to stopping an offense like this.
Right, and like we said, the 2-6 record. But if you miss one time and you run by the fullback because you try to guess like you're going to kick it this time on 3rd and 8, and they go ahead and give it, he will crease you. And he's got one guy to beat for a touchdown on that because you don't have the biggest lineman, and you're not going to try to zone block it or a zone scheme or you're just way to attack defenses when you're running the veer. This is what this is. There's versions of the veer, but this is the flex bone. And
keys to victory one more time. Coach Bogert, we were talking to him earlier, and he just talked about keeping the foot on the gas. You know, there's a lot of momentum.
The coach is try to fool your players and say, we know what's probably going to happen tonight. Be honest with you, I don't want to jinx anything or go against the karma of the game, but they're really struggling. They're not real big, and the Chargers are playing well. So keeping that's why 32-11, which it looks like every time I always see that I think it's a misprint.
Yes, yeah, I mean
he's 132-11 in his career in his 11th season because the two absolutely. Absolutely.
On the
Great
playing
job. Really
of
good.
the national anthem there. Expected contributors tonight for Purcell. Look out for number 1, Cooper Selman, running back. Number 4, Cash Cook. Also the wide receiver, number 7, Deacon Dobbins. He's going to be the quarterback tonight. He'll be the quarterback, literally and figuratively of the offense. Everything's going to run around him. And then also number 11, Carter Bennett, wide receiver, and number 18, Matthew Hall, the fullback. So a lot of people will get involved. A lot of people will be touching the ball. We're about 2 minutes away from the start of this ball game. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back with you. You are watching Heritage Hall Football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro to serve Oklahoma better than anyone else. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? It means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings, and that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition 3-1. I love Joe, Oklahoma.
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
Number 12, Cal Welker.
And welcome back here to Conger Field on the campus of Purcell High School here in Purcell, Oklahoma. Just about a minute away here from kickoff. We're going to take a look real fast at our SSM. I'm sorry, no, we're not going to look at that. We've already talked about that just a little bit. Our keys to victory for tonight. We talked about expected contributors. Let's look at our season statistical leaders here for Heritage Hall. Tegan Lawson back in the lineup for Heritage Hall tonight. He's missed the last couple of games. You'll see Tegan Lawson and Hudson Ferris sharing duties at the quarterback position once again tonight. Hudson Ferris comes in on the night, 60 of 97 on the year, 868 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year. Tegan Lawson, 573 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, and an interception. Leading the rushing attack for Heritage Hall this year is Nash Iser, 76 carries on the year, 488 yards rushing, averaging 6.4 per game. That's followed by Max Everett with 68 carries, 333 yards on the year, and also leading Heritage Hall in the receiving duties. That's Gerard Williams, 30 receptions, 497 yards, long of 60 on the year, 5 touchdowns. Gerard's gone one game, 100-plus on the yard total of the receptions. And then also the tackles, 57 Walker Waddell, and then also 56 tackles on the year for Carson Phelps. And that brings us to our Nix Patterson featured player of the game, Carson Phelps. Tell us a little bit about what you know about Carson, Steve.
Well, Carson, he's a guy that, he's a junior, and if you drew up how you'd like your middle linebacker to look, he's it. I was talking with Mr. Fetro earlier in the week. I don't think I ever recall more big kids in our building that are 6'2", 3, over 200 pounds in my life. And he's leading the pack there, and he's just scratching the surface about how good of a football player he can be. One of the things that we always talk about, Justin, is how some people have a misconception that there's not as much toughness or whatever, which is silly with our crazy record here at Heritage Hall, but he's a little bit of a grinder. And, funny guy in the building and tough, and 6'3", almost 230, only a junior. He's got aspirations to want to play in a couple of years at the next level, and I don't see any reason he wouldn't. But he's really, in this odd stack, if the Mike backer can handle A gap and maybe a little B gap for you and really stuff it, man, you can play all kinds of good games there.
You're exactly right. When you talk about the size of this team, you've got guys, we've had Trip Thomas. We've gotten to look at a young Trip Thomas this year. He's been our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise player of the game at least once this year on the broadcast. That's a young kid, too, has a lot of great size to him. You look at Carson Phelps, 6'3", 226 for this squad. It's one of the, like you said, it's one of the larger teams. Heritage Hall over the years, it just seems like we were never usually the biggest team getting off the bus. You look at them and you're like, wow. But this year, that might be changing just a little bit here with this squad.
Well, I agree. Our biggest dude is unfortunately had a knee injury, and Caleb Blue, he's 6'6", about 260, But you're right, and we have so many kind of clone-looking guys that look like one another, 6'2", 6'3". I think we made the same comment when we played Marlowe in the semis, how in a really, really tight game that we pulled out at the end with the kick by Cal Welker. But, I mean, when you have that kind of guys at 3A football, you got a chance to win a lot of games. That's
right, and we've seen a lot of games win, as you alluded to. Coach Bogert in his 11th season, a 132-11 on the year, on his career. That's a .923 winning percentage, and you always think it's a misprint or that there's something wrong. But that record is true, and that's the level of success we've seen here at Heritage Hall as we await kickoff here for the 60-degree weather. It's cloudy. Boy, what a great night of football. No chance of precipitation in the forecast whatsoever. The flags are standing still. So
when we had the national anthem, I couldn't find it because it really literally was not moving.
Can't get a better October evening with this. So Heritage Hall lines up to kick off. That's going to be Bo Butler, of course, with the kicking duties for the Chargers. Back to receive for Purcell. We'll try to get some numbers. That's number 7 back there, and that's going to be Deacon Dobbins. Number 7, the quarterback deep to receive for the Dragons. As well as, we'll get some of those other numbers. Probably Steve can see those a little bit better than I can. But we're underway here at Purcell. The ball is kicked deep. It is fielded by Cooper Selman. Cooper Selman trying to get it back up the middle, and he is tracked down by Max Everett and a host of other Chargers, and he'll be stopped right there at about the 15. They might mark him up a couple of extra yards there at the 17. So Purcell First possession of the night, starting at the 17-yard line, deep in their own territory.
Great coverage by the guys, and Bo Butler would tell you that for Bo, he usually drives that in the next county, and he a little low and great coverage because it got down there pretty quick. It was really great coverage by the Charger kickoff team there and there we are in our flex bone look, Justin, with the tight end.
So Deacon Dobbins at quarterback for Purcell. In motion, Cash Cook, and he's going to get the call. I'm sorry, that ball went to 10 to the fullback. Let's see, was that number 10 right there? Yeah, that was number 10. So that is Liam Cummings. And we'll head off to our SSM Health Bone and Joint starting lineup. You've got Golden, Griffin, and Davis to start it off on the defensive line for the Chargers. Max Everett, Echok, Phelps, Waddell, and Thomas. And rounding out the defensive lineup will be Okego, England, and Williams. That ball is given over to the right side. Not much on the play. That was the quarterback, Deacon Dobbins, keeping it.
You see there, this offense, you've got to have that operator at QB, and he has to make a split-second decision. Do I dip it up and get a couple yards, or do I try to kick it? And a kick might have had a chance, but we are closing fast.
So ball sitting at the 19-yard line. This is going to be a 3rd and 8 for the Purcell Dragons on their first possession of the night. Fake up the middle, trying to get it to the outside right there to Cooper Selman. Avoids a tackle, goes out of bounds. We'll see what this mark's going to be. Let's see where they get it. The first down, like he is going to be short. So we'll have a look right here what Coach Dillard wants to do early on in this game, and it doesn't look like there's a punter on the field. What he got to
lose, I can tell you that Coach Bogert will not be happy with our contained man there as he dipped in, which is the big no-no when you're the last line of defense on the pitch.
So 4th and 2 here for the Dragons. Ball at the 25-yard line. Heritage Hall looking to make a nice defensive stand right out of the gate. The give is to number 10, and that's Liam Cummings. Ball's on the ground, and it looks like we'll see who got it. It looks like Walker Waddell first down, but instead it turns into the 10th fumble recovery for this defense on the year. Walker Waddell, that's his 2nd recovery on the year, and so that's going to be a Heritage defense that comes into this game averaging about 2.5 takeaways per game. Get one here on the first drive for the Dragons. So it's going to be Hudson Ferris at quarterback. Throws it out there on a short pass. It's Gerard Williams.
Hudson has a live arm because that was a little past the middle of the field and just snapped that out route, about 25 yards in the air. Short pickup, but good ball there to start the game for Hudson.
So ball is down to the 26-yard line, 3 yards gained on the play. This is going to be a 2nd and 6 here for the Charger offense. The give is to Nash Iser trying to get outside. He's at the 30, down to the 20. Nice run there by Nash Iser. Going to be just short of the first down. No, let's see. It looks like they are going to move the sticks. So a nice 8 or 9 yard pickup there by Iser. And Heritage Hall on the move. First down of the game for the Chargers. Now the ball sitting at about the 18-yard line of the Dragons. It's a fresh set of downs. Max Everett inside of the field, sitting at about the 21-yard line.
Yeah, that's with standard block in the back there. Tough call. I mean, our guys ran into each other.
So this will push Heritage Hall behind the sticks here on the mark-off for a holding. Moving back 10 yards. We're just underway here in Purcell. 10 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Justin Evans here with Steve Chard tonight, taking you all the way here in this district matchup. On offense, we'll get to that 1 second after this play. Our SSM Health Bone and Joint, and then we're going to have another pre-snap penalty right here. So we'll look at those starting lineups here for your Charger offense. We've got Bronson, Hudson Ferris at quarterback, Nash Iser in the backfield. Andrick Golden, Bullock, Leclerc, Griffin, and Godwin on the offensive line. Rounding it out on the receivers, Trip Thomas, Rhett Davis, and Gerard Williams.
Tough job. One of our pregame things that Coach Boger said was clean up the penalties. Unfortunately, we've had 2 already.
So first drive with 2 penalties. Hudson Ferris looking for a receiver back the other direction. He's got Gerard Williams in the end zone, and that ball is, good coverage right there by Cooper Selman for the Dragons. Gerard Williams was open there for a moment. The ball was barely underthrown, and Selman was able to recover and knock that away for an incomplete pass, bringing up 2nd and 25 here for the Charger offense.
Yeah, that's a proof of what Coach Andy Bogert knows and thinks about Hudson's arm as he rolls right, and that was the point, to roll right and then threw it all the way back down the field. And he got it there, maybe a hair short, but I'd like to see Gerard go up and get that one on the screen here.
Little pass completed there to Walker Waddell. Almost looked like there could have been a little horse collar right there on the tackle. It is not called. That was Brody Walkup on the tackle for the Dragons. So this is going to be a long 3rd and about 25 still. No gain on the play. Ball sitting at the 32-yard line. Heritage Hall trying to capitalize on the early takeaway, the fumble recovery by Walker Waddell.
A little unbalanced look to start here.
Gerard Williams in motion. The fake to Gerard Williams. Hudson Ferris has a receiver. That is Trip Thomas in the end zone. The ball is thrown up. Good defense on the play. It falls short.
Pretty good play by Trip Thomas to prevent the pick.
Defending on the play was number 5, Oscar Wren for the Dragons. So Coach Bogert has a decision to make here, 4th and 24. I don't see Bo Butler coming out yet. This would be ball sitting at the 32. This would be a 49-yard field goal attempt, and it does not look like Coach Bogert is pulling his offense off the field right here on a 4th and 24.
Well, in no man's land, right? No reason not to go ahead and give it a shot. It's not the highest percentage, but you never know with these Chargers.
I did see Bo Butler in warm-up, Steve. He booted a 45-yarder, booted a 50-yarder. So I think, has the range, but right here, you just kind of have to take your lumps, and that's he's looking for Gerard Williams again, and he has him in the end zone, and that is touchdown Heritage Hall. 4th and 24, and that is a 32-yard touchdown pass from Hudson Ferris to Gerard Williams.
Well, I was talking with Coach Andy Bogert on the way down here, and, we've been so blessed at that quarterback position forever, really, at Heritage Hall, but the last 10, 12 years has been incredible. But Hudson throws as good of a deep ball as we've had. He throws a great deep ball. He has great velocity, turns over, gets there, and they were saying Wednesday, that horrible windy day, he was cutting it up in practice into that wind. Live arm for Hudson.
Hudson Ferris' 12th touchdown pass on the year, and that was the exact same play pretty much that they tried to connect on a few plays prior to that fell incomplete. The extra point is up by Bo Butler, and it is good. So Heritage Hall taking the early advantage from the fumble and putting points on the board. And with that, ChargerVision would like to thank 9th Street Parking Lot for their continued support. Visit them online at 9thstreetparkinglot.com to schedule a BARK bus pickup. Coach Kyle Gillum looks forward to spoiling your pups in his first-class facility in downtown OKC. 9th Street Parking Lot, home of the BARK bus.
Well, we've got a second. Go ahead and give a shout-out. Oh, we're going to.
Here it is.
Yeah,
once
here's
again.
a replay of the touchdown to Gerard here.
Williams just beating the defender deep, and that was Cooper Selman, who we said had a great defense on him a couple of plays earlier. That ball is put perfectly right where Gerard Williams needed it and didn't even have to break stride. So been so impressed, Steve, with the job that Hudson has come in. He's a guy that waited his turn, to have the opportunity to play quarterback here at Heritage Hall, and he has taken advantage of it this year in the biggest way possible.
Well, and it's good to see a senior like that did pay his dues and works very hard. I will tell you that, Hudson's he is a high-character young man, and we talk a lot in the building. And it's every day. There's not, it's not when anyone's watching or being the star. He's humble, and he has a strong character. It's good to see Hudson succeeding.
We had Hudson up here in the booth as our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise player of the game last week, and it's really the first opportunity I've had to sit down and visit with Hudson, and you're right, I just came away from there just so impressed with the young man that was.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, we're a little bit blessed too, as we always are in many ways here, but Teagan is having a great season. He got concussed at Kingfisher, and we feel pretty good either way with those guys. And Teagan, just being a junior, has another year to go, and so either way, we're pretty good at the quarterback position.
So another touchback there by Bo Butler. We've kind of talked to him as, touchback Butler.
That's right.
That's what he does every time. And so this is going to be Purcell taking over on the 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10, trailing 7-0 early on in this contest. 2 games left on the season. Another district matchup next week for the Chargers versus the Star Spencer Bobcats. That give is up the middle. He's hit hard and hit initially right there by, let's see who that was. That was, there's another number we don't call very often. Austin King.
Yeah,
we call that number quite often.
That kid running fullback is tough at 150. He is coming in there with a serious head of steam. For no bigger than he is.
Austin King came into the game tonight. 4th in tackles on the team, 38 tackles on the year. The keeper by the quarterback pitches it out there to, that's number 4, Cash Cook.
Well executed.
Nice pickup on the play for the Dragons.
Austin King's one of those guys that we were talking about, the clone of one another. He's about 6'2", well over 200 pounds, and again, just scratching the surface on his potential as a football player.
That's right, junior, 6'2", 205. Having a great year here for the Chargers. 9 solo tackles, 11 tackles for loss for Austin King this year. So Austin doing the job, and this is going to be a short 3rd down attempt here for the Dragons. 3rd and 1 to go, and that is going to be good enough for a Dragon 1st down. So a fresh set of downs for Purcell.
I think you see a good example of the value of this offense. I mean, there's, depending, even if it's a physical mismatch, there is no way you're not getting something going forward. It's so quick. It's not like we see every Saturday afternoon running the zone read 8 yards deep. You're hitting it at the mesh point and you're hitting it quickly. It's hard not to get some positive yardage. Inside
give is to Lamb Cummings coming around this direction. I'm sorry, that's the number 11. It's the number 10. That was Carter Bennett right there on the carry for the Dragons.
And that's the changeup in the flex bone, that inside handoff from the play side wing coming back underneath, kind of like a trap, in a conventional offense to keep you honest, so we don't flow so hard to the ball side every single time.
I just realized how thankful I am, Steve, to be standing next to you tonight with this flexbone offense. I just realized why I love calling them with you.
It's fun to watch this offense. Oh, and
Dobbins drops back. He gets the ball out complete. That is completed to Cash Cook. Great pressure on the play there by Andrick Golden, number 58 for the Charger defense.
Love Andrick. I love Andrick, a throwback kid too. Not the biggest guy, but really a talented athlete. He'll probably be the everyday catcher most days on the baseball team, and just always a good attitude. Andrick's a good guy in the building and can play ball. I mean, he's a good football player, good baseball player.
So a loss of 4 on the play. That's going to be a 3rd and 20 here for Purcell coming up. Heritage Hall looking for another stop, building on this early momentum, capitalizing on the fumble recovery on the first possession for Purcell by Walker Waddell. The fake there, the give is to Cash Cook. Cash Cook having some space to run. He's at the 40, he's at the 50. He's getting up the sidelines. Trip Thomas is in pursuit. Thomas is able to push Cook out of bounds at about the 15-yard line, but a huge gain on the play for the Purcell Dragons.
Well, you're not, the contained corner there. Talking to Coach Boger, you don't want to get in much man coverage against this offense, and I don't think we were, but the corner really bailed real deep, and he's contained, and they got it kicked, and there you go.
And you saw the speed there of Cash Cook as he got out on the corner. Cash Cook comes in 5'9", 150 pounds. Not a very big guy, but boy, he caught the corner there, and good job by Trip Thomas not to give up on the play and been able to push the Dragon ball carrier out. They're going to call it down at about the 18-yard line. So the give here is to Lamb Cummings right up the middle.
Andrick again.
No gain on the play. Maybe 1 yard gain on the play there for Cummings. Liam Cummings, excuse me, not Lamb, that's Liam Cummings. So they are going to say a gain of 1 on the play. This is going to be a 2nd and 9, ball at the 17-yard line. Only 5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. 1 possession for each team so far.
That's one good thing, too. If maybe you're an underdog, this is a possession offense, obviously, and you can shorten the game a little bit.
Deacon Dobbins keeps it right there, gets nothing on the play.
we've got 15, 16 guys that we rotate defensively, which is a nice luxury in Class 3A to have. That's not normal to get to have many guys that you think are varsity worthy in the rotation, so to speak, that get to play.
Do you feel like the depth is better this year than we've seen in recent years, or is this kind of just a trend that happens with Heritage Hall that you've seen with this level of depth?
I think it's more than we usually have. Talking to the coaches, they feel pretty great about the 4 to 5 linebackers they use and about 7 to 8 D linemen that they use.
This is Dobbins. Oh,
my goodness.
That ball is thrown right at Echok.
Because he's off to the races. I don't know about gone, but he's off to the races.
We need to get Echok a smaller pair of shoulder pads right there so he can get those hands connected up top.
Yeah, those are the pads we were wearing, man. Those giant ones that make you look like the Hulk.
So a break there for Purcell as that ball was thrown right into the direction of Echok. It looks like Purcell has their offense on the field. Fourth down and 8. As you said earlier, Steve, nothing to lose here for this Dragon team. It's been a struggle so far, 1-4 in district play, 2-6 on the year. Averaging 30 points per game. This offense ball is on the ground, and that is going to be recovered or fell on by Cooper Selman, but that's going to be a turnover on downs for Purcell. So first 2 possessions for Purcell, fumble on the first drive and a turnover on downs on this one.
Something real basic there, Justin. You know, this is high school. We got to remember that's not Jamel Holloway. And, you know, it's harder to pitch it with your left hand. And that kid is a righty, and I know he does it all the time, but it's a little more difficult going to your left. And you saw he missed him there. He had some positive yards. I don't know about the first down, but not when you pitch it behind him.
So Heritage Hall is going to take over on the 26-yard line. It's been Hudson Ferris all the way at quarterback so far. The give here is to Nash Iser. He has a nice room up to the 40, up to about the 45-yard line before being ridden out of bounds by Deacon Dobbins. Nice run on the play for Nash Iser. You know, you talk about that. I heard an interview with Barry Switzer a couple of weeks ago or about a month ago and talked about how they went up to, I don't know if it was Kansas or something when they lost that game, and they fumbled the ball 8 times. They lost 8 fumbles, but they fumbled 12 times that game.
We've seen that, haven't we, over the years? It's maddening.
So 1st and 10 for Heritage Hall's. Ball's up to the 43-yard line. The give is to Iser once again. Nice blocking out on the perimeter by Gerard Williams, which springs Iser. He's down to the 20, then 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Nice. He's going to take it all the way. Steve and I both did the same thing. We looked back at the 45-yard line for the piece of yellow sitting on the field, and we saw nothing.
Well, and I love it for Nash. 1, just a great kid, but 2, Nash is the demon leader in that weight room. You know, Coach Gefeller and the guys have put up some new charts and stuff, and Nash is at the top or near the top on almost every category from bench to squat to vertical, and on all the things that they measure. You know, and so it's cool to see it pay off on the field for Nash.
57-yard touchdown run for Nash Iser, his 5th touchdown of the year, and that's going to put him in dangerous territory of going over 100 yards here in the first quarter.
Well,
in this game, then the 2-point conversion is not good.
Chargers went some ninja there, and you know, if nothing else, that's for something for 2 weeks and 3 weeks down the road to something to waste time with by the opponent has to mess with in practice.
That's right. So Heritage Hall off again. We'll take another look at that play. As you'll see, Hudson Ferris just gives to Nash on the left side. You'll see the nice block by Gerard Williams
and David
up top.
Griffin right there
David
pulling.
Griffin leading, and there goes Nash Iser. And then he just puts it in his legs from here on out, and he outruns the entire secondary there for the Dragons as he steps into the end zone. So a great 57-yard run. That was followed by a great 22-yard run on this drive as well. So it was the Nash Iser show here on this drive for the Chargers.
Good for Nash. Well, we got a second. I want to give a huge thank you to Stanley's Graduations, offering Johnston's products and conveniently located in Edmond for all your high school grad needs, class rings, letter jackets, announcements, and championship rings, celebrating moments that matter. Stanley's Graduation Services. Matt Stanley was at the building this week, just the greatest guy. He's such a great Heritage Hall supporter. His daughters both went to Heritage, and, you know, always will do you a favor, and it's built quite a great business with Stanley's graduation material. Now, here's the trivia question for the day, Justin. Do we know why Matt's dad is pretty famous?
I do not.
Matt's dad was Jim Stanley, former Oklahoma State coach, and also a USFL champion coach of the Michigan Panthers.
The Michigan Panthers
back in the 80s.
of the USFL.
Jim Stanley, heck of a ball coach. And, he was at OSU when things were tough, but he also – that doesn't mean you can't coach, and he proved that at the professional level. So it's great I love to visit with that about Matt.
Great, interesting stat right there. Good to know. Let's see if this ball is not going to make it to the end zone. Ball is fielded at about the 9-yard line by Cash Cook once again. Nice return for Cook, avoiding the tackle there. Cook's going to get all the way out to about the 25. But, hey, we would be remiss if we didn't ask. You talk about daughters that went to Heritage Hall. How's Emily? How's Emily doing up at Lake Forest now, if I'm not mistaken,
right.
up in Chicago?
Proud to answer that. She is having a great start to her college career. They had their fall kind of workouts and played a lot of – she is playing softball there, and then their season, of course, properly will start in the spring. But a lot of lifting, and she's really loving the campus and college life. And I know so many of our kids go and flourish because of the great start they get in life at Heritage Hall. So I'm happy for Emily, and she's loving the combo of playing ball and going to school.
Congratulations to Emily. And I'll tell you, I had the honor of calling some softball game over the last 2 seasons. Right. And, boy, it was just a joy watching her perform out there on the field. Heritage Hall is going to take over. Purcell's going to take over. That's going to be a false start on Purcell. That's going to push them back 5 yards and have them running behind the chains.
That's a play we haven't seen yet. You get that. We're talking about that orbit motion with the wing. Sometimes you can quit. You don't have to fake it every time and just turn and toss it old school. And, that they've been getting to our edges a little bit. Don't blame them for trying that, especially to their left.
So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Ball all the way back to the 21-yard line. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. A first quarter that has been all Heritage Hall to this point. Heritage Hall leading 13-0.
Great job, smart by the Dragons to get this really, really wide split out here to give you a little, as you can see, all that green grass between.
Dobbins is going to keep it himself, and he's hit at about the 25-yard line. Initially on the tackle was Porter England.
He's looking back at Cooper Selman going, hey, brother, where you at on my pitch? He kind of stopped, I think, because he turned it up, but he knew there was nothing out of the corner of his left eye and turned and got what he could get, which wasn't much.
Purcell is facing a very stout Heritage Hall defense, only giving up 14 points per, surrendering 102 points all season long, and we've seen dominating performances all season from this Heritage Hall defensive line and full defensive team as well. If that pass goes out, it is incomplete. Intended receiver was Cooper Selman. That intended receiver was Cash Cook right there.
Sometimes, when we watch these Veer teams that are running it every day and that's all they do in practice, it's not always pretty when they do try to throw it.
Yeah, we've seen that around these parts too, haven't we?
Sure we have. But on a deep ball or something, but yeah, 0 for so far, except for the one for a big loss throwing the football so far are the Dragons.
And you have to, with a team that runs this type of offense, you wouldn't suspect that they're a team that's going to come back from big deficits very fast.
That's a great point. This offense not built for that, no doubt about it.
So 3rd and 10 here for the Dragons. Ball is completed out there to number 12, and that is Paul Glorious. Oh, that ball is down. Oh, yeah, incomplete pass. Looks like he had it there for a minute. Good coverage there by Emeka Okafor.
Okafor.
It's not Emeka Okafor. That would be Okego.
Yeah. I've said that. I've done that myself.
Hey, there's no eligibility for Emeka Okafor down here.
That plus is hard. The wonder he dropped it. That came out of that guy's hand, and it just slipped. He's not that. I mean, he throws a spiral. That came out literally going like a kick over end knuckling, and Tarter a little hard to catch that.
So that was Dobbins to Glorious there for the attempt. This is going to be 4th and 10. Ball sitting back at the Dragon 26-yard line. We'll see here what Coach Dillard opts to do. Trailing 13-0 already here in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to go.
12 or 18 on the ground?
I thought it was 12.
I can't tell. I think you may be right. I can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, 12. Looks like it is 12. Paul Glorious right there.
What a great name. Well, hopefully he's okay. He is a junior. It always breaks my heart when I see a senior get hurt on senior night at their home field. Hopefully we don't.
So it looks like Glorious is being assisted off the field right here.
I'm thinking punt for the Dragons here probably.
And it looks like that's what Coach Bogert is thinking as well, as Gerard Williams and Porter England back to receive the punt, standing at the Charger 30-yard line. 2 minutes, 42 seconds left to go here in a very successful first quarter so far by Heritage Hall. Purcell lining up for the first punt attempt of the night for the Dragons. Looks like back to kick for the Dragons is Easton Resendez. Pressure coming up the middle to Resendez. He gets it off cleanly. Short kick, takes a nice bounce, and that's going to be picked up by Gerard Williams. We've seen him do this before. He's up to the 40. He's up to the 50. If you give him a crease, he'll go a mile, and he's doing that. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Heritage Hall.
That is unbelievable because he just lulled him to sleep on that.
75-yard touchdown kick punt return for Gerard Williams.
We were speaking of the board of the marks and weights and everything. I don't think it's a big mystery who's the top 40 time on this team.
We saw that right there. Gerard Williams on the year came in with 1 punt return for 10 yards. Well, he just answered the bell there. 75-yard punt return for a touchdown, and it did not take long.
Well, Tulsa Hurricane dig it. I think that's the plan. You know, he's only we'll see if that happens, but that's what I'm hearing.
I saw a post today of him in now did he just he'd been committed, but I saw a new post that came out today, I believe. So
well, we will be
kick is up and it is good by Bo Butler.
We will hopefully signing day, the first one will be November 12th at Heritage Hall. That's a Wednesday. And we've got five Division I kids signing. It's crazy. You know, Addie Thompson's going to Michigan. Kiki Jobs is going to UMKC in Kansas City. I'm going to get them all. I don't have them in front of me right now, but I know we've got those two. Whit Thomas is signing with Xavier in Cincinnati. So we got some big-time athletes, as always.
And as I believe as we've done every other year. And here's the punt return right there by Gerard Williams. Boy, when you saw him get this corner at about the 30, there was nobody in sight, and there's nobody that's going to track that kid down. Great blocking downfield by the Chargers.
Upshifted to 5th gear and just cruised home.
And just cruised it on in. And on that signing day, Heritage Hall, the ChargerVision, tune in for that, as is prior years. ChargerVision will be there broadcasting that live and celebrating all of the athletes and the next level players that we have for this upcoming year here for the Chargers. So it's another kickoff coming for Bo Butler. Halloween night here in Purcell.
Yeah.
Great trick-or-treating weather. I don't see a lot of costumes in the stands tonight.
Well, I want to say this, that the kids at school today turned out by far the most costumes we've ever had. I want to give a shout out to our new division head, Sarah Graham, who loves Halloween, and the kids took her lead, and man, we had a great contest. We had some awesome looks today.
Oh, that's always good times. Always good times around campus on Halloween as that kick goes into the end zone for another touchback.
Now, that was more like Bo Butler. He hammered that.
So far for the Dragons, it's been tough sledding. First possession was a fumble recovered by Walker Waddell, and then a turnover on downs, and then just the punt right there on their last possession. So Purcell trying to get something going here on the offensive side of the ball.
You know, that running that offense sometimes, if you're if you're outmanned, you need to get it early, because once you adjust and to the assignments of what you're doing and you're better, it's tough. Tough sledding.
So Heritage Hall coming off of a 43-2 victory last week against Pauls Valley. That was followed by a big win against Plainview. Plainview number 5 in the state, a big 38-28 win. So the Chargers hitting their stride right when they need it. We talked about senior night next week. Star Spencer Bobcats coming to the Pop. That'll end the regular season and start the playoff run.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of that, this is maybe more amazing than Brett's overall record as head coach. We have the 3rd most district wins in a row in the history of Oklahoma high school football at 85. So
pitches out there to Cooper Selman. He avoids the tackle, the attempted tackle. But yeah, go and Steve. It seems like every week that number's going up too.
Yeah, 85 straight district wins, which is second to Thomas, Oklahoma, and Tulsa Union with 94. So we are coming up on second place.
And that was all time. And that was all time. We were the number one active streak we have in the state.
Those have ended.
Yeah, coming
those
up on.
Have ended.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an incredible run. They haven't lost a district game, if you put this in perspective, since 2013. That's saying something. That's a list of dominance right there. This is going to be a 3rd and 2 here for Purcell. Ball's on the ground once again. That is Selman that's attempting to fall on it, and he does. It's going to be a loss on the play, so this is going to be another 4th down coming up here for Purcell.
Yeah, Chargers history of the program, 55 years, 474, 186. It's pretty good.
You know, you and I were just sitting up here talking earlier about, win totals and career win totals for different coaches and different people, and we get so spoiled by the amount of wins that we see around here in this program to where you kind of forget sometimes that this is not normal.
It's a great point you make, because sometimes we're like, our fans sometimes, well, I'll come to the state game. I'm like, the state game? Not most people don't make the state game, but, and that is a great thing to be spoiled about, though,
So the 4th and 7 punt hits at about the 50, takes another bounce. Gerard Williams gets away from this one this time. So that ball is going to be down at about the 32-yard line, and Heritage Hall is going to have another crack at it. Only 6 seconds left, maybe 0.6 of a second left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that quick one. And, we're set up for Ray Guy back there. We're way deep on these punts. But, obviously we knew what happened with. I'm surprised they didn't punt it out of bounds.
You would think there's a 30-mile-an-hour wind behind that Purcell punter right now where we're setting up on these things. So this is going to be the last play of the quarter for Heritage Hall, and I think Coach Bogert's going to be very pleased with what he has seen so far on both sides of the football.
Absolutely. Great, getting the gear and stopping this thing and probably getting to where we want to go.
Looks like Tegan Lawson in for the Chargers at quarterback now. He's going to give to Walker Waddell, who's hit in the backfield. Hit initially, and it looks like we're going to have a Purcell player a little slow in getting up. It almost looked like a left shoulder. If you saw that, he kind of reached out to Walker Waddell and kind of got the shoulder in an odd position. We don't want to ever speculate up here, but it didn't look great from what we saw.
Well, he's grabbing his left shoulder.
Yeah,
you may be right.
That's kind of what I saw on the tackle. But we've got zeros on the scoreboard. It's been a great first quarter for Heritage Hall, leading by the score of 20-0. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
3 Points Land is proud to support the Chargers, and the Chargers are proud to have them on our team. 3 Points Land is leading the industry in land services for energy innovation. Visit 3pointsland.com to learn more. So it looks like that was Landon Clark. He was able to get off the field under his own power, so we hope everything's good there for number 44, Landon Clark. Throws it back in the other direction to Porter England, and he's got it in his hands. I'm sorry, that is not Nash Iser right there.
No.
That's Max Everett.
Nope,
Max Everett. Hey, we'll get him right after the third try, but that's a big gain down to the 25-yard line right there.
Yeah, sweet call by Andy Bogert there. Sprint left, throw back right screen. That looks a little easy. It is not. And great job, by Tegan on the mechanics there. That's not an easy throw to just turn, and you have to stay patient, thinking the heat's coming, because that play takes a while.
You can always tell Max Everett, I should have known from the outset, once that motor gets running out there, there's nobody that looks like him. So that's Tegan Lawson throwing it. This one's to Porter England going right up the middle. He's hit at about the 20, falls forward down to about the 18-yard line here for the Charger offense on the move once again.
First down. Tegan has great touch, really an accurate thrower.
Teagan's another kid that came in last year and had an opportunity to contribute and took advantage of that opportunity as a young guy getting the call.
And, you know, Coach Bogert, Andy, has some packages, if you will, for each quarterback, which is why you see Hudson back in here.
So first and 10 for the Chargers. Give is to Iser up the middle. Nice run there by Nash Iser. Nice hard run. Pick up a 7 on the play on first down. We'll take that all the time. We're at 11 minutes right here.
And get a kind of a running back by committee and two really good backs for us. And then, you know, Waddell can carry it. There's a lot of guys that are effective varsity backs on this team.
Nash Iser joining Tegan Lawson in the backfield, or is that Hudson Ferris in there right now? Rhett Davis in motion. The give is to Iser up the middle. Just bowls his way forward, trying to break loose, and he does squirt loose. And it is down at the Heritage Hall. Players are saying touchdown, but I think he's going to be a bit short. He's going to be marked down at the 1 yard line, but that is all Nash Iser on that play.
That's 450 on the squat rack or whatever it is. It may be more. I don't want to shortchange the guy. But that was pure strength right there. Way to keep it going. Legs moving. Really good run by Nash right there.
So this is going to be down to the 2 yard line. It's going to be first down for Heritage Hall. Nash Iser stays in the game in the backfield. Porter England in motion. The give is to Iser. Let him finish it up right up the middle. Touchdown, Heritage Hall.
Yeah, let him pay it off, right?
It's only fair.
Nash is having a ball game.
So that's a 2 yard touchdown run for Nash Iser. Nash Iser already with the 57 yard touchdown run on the second possession for the Chargers. That pushed the lead to 13-0 earlier in the first quarter. So Nash Iser having a ball game, coming in with touchdowns. Touchdown number 5 and touchdown number 6 on the year for the young Charger.
Great job by the boys up front, punching holes in that line, and great vision and strength by Nash Iser.
Bo Butler in for the point after attempt. Ball is up, and it is good. There are whistles on the play. Looks like we're going to have offsides on the Purcell Dragons.
He'll go for 2.
We'll see what Coach Bogert does. Typically, he'll run his offense back on there, especially after missing the failed 2-point conversion earlier in the first quarter.
Sometimes I think like maybe a couple of the linemen are like, really? I'm taking a break here. No, it's from 1.5 yards, you got to go for 2.
So this ball is going to be marked down at about the 1 yard line, and this is going to be Heritage Hall with the offense back on the field, leading 26-0.
That's Teagan coming in for this 2-point play. See what Coach Andy Bogert has up his sleeve here.
Gerard in the backfield with Teagan.
I bet he won't stay there. Maybe.
Along with Cannon Bronson back there and Nash Iser.
Yeah, go to empty here.
Lawson has it. He's looking for Gerard Williams coming back, and that's a great play. That's excellent 2-point conversion, and it is good for the Chargers, pushing the lead up to 28-0. That's a successful 2-point conversion from Teagan Lawson to Gerard Williams.
Well, it's, as guys around will probably go, golly, at certain places you have to find that operator at QB, and then they have to look at our film and go, my gosh, they have 2 of them. Sometimes you get lucky. But we're fortunate at the Hall to have that kind of talent around.
And I'll tell you what, I saw a couple of young guys coming in, last week too. We scored 43 points in the first half last week of that game. And so, the second half, a lot of young guys, which is such an advantage here with Heritage Hall, and kind of some of those games like that, you get all these young guys, those game reps that you just can't duplicate in practice. So we saw a couple of young quarterbacks in there too, slinging it around pretty good.
Absolutely. It's like what we used to call, coaching some of my other stops, we called the jinx factor. Jinx would get 4 more practices, and all their young guys would get reps almost throughout the season when they were in their golden era of killing everybody. And, it's a really great point. Monday nights are great. JV is great. But getting on the field on Friday night is different, and we do that every single year. And one of the things that really can turn into a chaotic situation, and they do a great job at it, is getting everybody in those games that are out of reach. and it's not easy to do.
And we talk about it year in, year out, too. You've got these big contributors on the field, and I've said it before, like, we lose this person, and we lose this person, and we're going to lose this person. Who's our offense going to be? Who's going to be able to – and the new guy steps up. Next guy up.
Well,
next guy up mentality. He's already on the roster. He's already played, and he's just waiting his time to contribute.
You know, this is a heck of a comparison, but to me it's like the Thunder. You know, we all love the Thunder, and they got one of their all-stars is down their injury list every week. It don't matter. And ours guys the same way, because for years, people say, gosh, they lost Andy Bass or whatever. You're like, I wouldn't count against them. And
exactly right.
It's
exactly
every year they turn out an incredible product. So that's not accidental, and that comes with hard work and consistency in how you're coached and what you're coached to do, and then what you're hearing in the summer.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dragons. Going the opposite direction now here in the second quarter, starting at the 20-yard line. No back there, and he is tackled hard by David Griffin. David Griffin right there along with Walker Waddell, and that was Deacon Dobbins turning around, and there was no Cooper Selman there.
That's got to be the worst feeling. You're like, oh, I'm going to get killed.
No man's land. So that's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. It's going to push the Purcell Dragons back to the 16-yard line here, 2nd down. 4th possession of the game for Purcell, trying to get anything going here on the offensive side of the ball, already trailing 28-0. Just under 10 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Cooper Selman in motion. Okego out there trying to get a beat on him. Good job by Okego. Tracked down from the backside by Trip Thomas.
It's so hard and tempting to not dip your head inside there, and as soon as you do, you're going to get walled off. And Mecca did a great job of fighting back and made the play for a short gain. But, he's coming at you, and he's gotten vertical, and you're like, I can go get him, and then he puts that foot to the other side, and you get walled off. Stay outside on that last line of defense.
So this is going to be a 3rd and 9 for the Dragons. Still deep in their own territory, ball at the 21-yard line.
This is the classic 3-4 or 50 look that Coach Brett Bogert's playing. Those 2 walk-up linebackers and 2 insides.
So that is Doggins dropping back, looking for an open receiver. He's in pursuit. He found a guy deep down the field, but Thomas with an interception, completely taking it out of the hands of number 4, Cash Cook. Trip Thomas once again coming up big, as we've seen time after time this year from Trip Thomas.
And in 10th grade, by the way. That was incredible.
Coming up.
Justin, we got a chance in the Diamond this spring. They got some ball players.
So that is an interception by Trip Thomas. That is the 12th interception of the year for this Heritage Hall defense. That is Thomas's 2nd interception of the year. Fake to Walker Waddell.
Oh, my gosh.
Going forward right away. That's Rhett Davis across the middle. Great catch by the big tight end. Sliding down and making the catch at about the 26-yard line. Tegan Lawson to Rhett Davis.
Out of a bunch of really good receivers, I think it's safe to say Rhett has the best hands on the team. If it's near him, he's catching it.
And it was Rhett Davis. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Ball at the 28-yard line. The give is a direct snap to Echok, looking for space. He's at the 20, down to the 15, 10, 5, and he's pushed out of bounds, ridden out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. So another new wrinkle that we saw there from Coach Bogert. That was Jackson Echok on the carry.
He told me he had a couple plays for Echok in direct snap. And speaking of baseball, that's another guy that can seriously play baseball.
It's Echok in there once again in the Wildcat. Looking for the direct snap. He is joined in the backfield by Austin Echok. And that is Echok on the left side. Touchdown, Heritage Hall.
Wow.
And that was brother on brother and brother in the backfield right there. Jackson and Austin.
Hope the Dragons can keep their plays. And good job, Echok. We're blocking them, but I understand that. It's week 9 and you're playing an opponent that's overwhelming you. But you got to keep fighting. You'll be glad you did after a game like this. It's tough to play a team like Heritage at week 9.
So another nice wrinkle we have not seen. This is week 9. just as Steve said, and that was a new wrinkle that we haven't seen all year. And that one, boy, that one looked dominating, and it looked very good as the kick is up, and it is good by Butler. Heritage Hall pouring it on, extending the lead now to 35-0 here in the second quarter. If you remember, we alluded to it earlier last week, Heritage Hall at the half, 43-0 over the Pauls Valley Panthers. And this is looking to be much the same as we saw last week against Pauls Valley.
Well, you don't.
And here it is once again, Steve.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, here's that pick by Thomas. This is going to be awesome. I want to see this one.
You saw Dobbins stepping up there. He looks like he has a completion there, and Thomas just takes it right away from him before he's down.
My goodness.
Great athletic play there by Tripp Thomas.
And he's a 6'3".
6'3", 195-pound sophomore.
Yeah, and he can play baseball. So yeah, what a play by that kid. My goodness.
So it looks like here's the touchdown run once again by Echok. Lead blocker, Austin Echok. It's on the outside, and once he gets to the goal line, you're not getting that young man down. Echok comes in once again as one of those kids you're talking about, 6 foot, 186 pounds there for the sophomore Jackson Echok.
For years, we do such a great job of, it's Coach Andy and Coach Ted on the O-line, and our guys pull, and that's getting the second level is not easy, because a lot of times kids get out to the second level and they don't know what to do, or our guys, they have a plan and they get out there. David Griffin is so athletic at guard. He gets out there and puts a hat on a hat, and that's what springs these guys.
And in some of the extended keys to victory is this is Cash Cook trying to get to the outside. He's ridden out of bounds by Akago at about the 24-yard line, but that was one of the extended keys to victory that we saw earlier. Was he said he really wanted to see some toughness and some improvement in that offensive line tonight. We've seen them grow as a unit over the last few weeks, and boy, we've seen a dominating performance tonight.
Yeah, it's good for the guys, and we'll have another, honestly, next Friday. Well, let's just be real here. These Purcell Dragons beat Pauls Valley 58-6 Monday night.
Star Spencer.
Star Spencer.
Yeah.
Pauls Valley.
Yeah.
Star Spencer.
Yeah, and it's been tough sledding for Star Spencer. I mean, nobody would deny that fact, but you still have to show up, be sharp, and come execute the way you need to. That is Dobbins with the keep right there. That's Okago getting him down at about the 40-yard line, but a nice pickup there by the quarterback, Deacon Dobbins.
Great job by Dobbins there. Truly rode the fullback, and that's the beauty of that offense. You ride it long enough, you've got to commit, and he pulled it at the last second and got a nice first down.
So nice positive play for Pauls Valley. One of the few first downs we've seen in the first half for the Dragons. Trying to get something going. 7:27 left to go here in the second quarter. Ball's at the 41-yard line, trailing 35-0 is Purcell. Heritage Hall has scored on every possession tonight.
Those guys are in the backfield. They're not even close to.
Dobbins with the give. Ooh. Out there to Cash Cook, and he is hit hard. Good play right there by Gerard Williams. Big loss on the play.
I think these refs might be looking at their watch as well. Their right guard was lined up deeper than the fullback on that. That's okay.
So it's going to be a loss of 5 on the play. We'll call it a loss of 4 on the play. It's going to be a 2nd and 14.
Wide splits there on the follow.
That is Dobbins keeping it once again. He's had a nice couple of nice carries here on this drive. That's going to be close to another first down, about 2 yards short. Ball up to about the 48-yard line.
One of the many things that is an advantage in this offense. And that's why those splits, if you notice, between the guard and center and guard and tackle are so wide on the veer. It gives you those natural lanes, and he just followed it right up on that fullback's behind and got a nice gain.
So this is going to be a 3rd and 4 for the Dragons. Dobbins keeps it once again. He's hit right there by Echok for no gain on the play. And this is going to bring up another 4th down for Purcell. That was Jackson Echok just getting shot out of a cannon right there and bringing Dobbins down for no gain on the play. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
Good thick kid, another 10th grader.
So this is going to be a 4th and 1. It's a long, it's not a long one. It's a 4th and an actual 1 here for the Dragons. Heritage Hall trying to get another stop and a turnover on downs. That is Dobbins keeping it once again. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage, tries to fall forward.
Nope.
I don't think he got it.
No.
No gain on the play, and that is going to be another turnover on downs for Purcell.
Good job right there by the guys.
Walker Waddell on the tackle for the Chargers. Hit the quarterback Dobbins immediately, and I was able to wrap him up without him falling forward for the first down. So this is going to be a takeover on downs. Turnover on downs for the Dragons. Heritage Hall is going to take over right at the 50-yard line, smack dab on it.
So Hudson back out there at QB this series, at least for now. Here comes Teagan. So going to switch it.
So for the Dragons, 2 turnovers on downs, a 1 punt, an interception, and a fumble. You feel Coach Dillard wants to get this team in the locker room and make some adjustments as quickly as possible. 5 minutes, 22 seconds left to go. Teagan Lawson looking for a receiver down the field.
Nice
he finds
ball.
Gerard Williams. Gerard Williams with some good footwork, and that is going to be completed all the way down to about the 36-yard line.
I'm watching Andrick. I love him. He's playing left tackle, whipping his guy pretty good. But when you get up and throw your hands up like I didn't hold him, what are you telling the official?
Usually you're a guilty party you're involved in this thing.
Just don't do that.
So they're going to mark it at the 34-yard line. That was Teagan Lawson to Gerard Williams for the big gain.
Tied in trips here this time. Both guys are off. There you go.
Max Everett in the backfield with Lawson. Lawson finds Porter England. He's got some running room out in front. He's down to the 20. Bulls forward to about the 18-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for another Charger first down.
One of the things Teagan does really well, doesn't have the most velocity, good enough, but he makes up for that in his throws it just a count or two before a lot of people. So it gets there when it should. Whether it's the velocity of another kid or not, it's kind of irrelevant because he throws it on time so well.
Lawson looking for Porter England right up the middle. He's hit hard right as he catches the ball. Looks like he was hit there by, that was number 11. That was Carter Bennett for the Dragons. Short gain on the play, 4 yards, 2nd and 6 here for the Charger offense. Looking to get some more points on the board here before the half. Heritage Hall has scored on every possession. The give is to Max Everett right up the middle.
Good touchdown saving tackle there by number 10. Good player for the Dragons. Cummings, because he was going to score.
That was David Griffin doing a good job on the lead block right there in front of Max Everett. But that's going to be good enough for another Charger first down. So this is going to be a 1st and goal. Ball's at the 7-yard line. Throws it out to Porter England. Porter England looking for some room, and he's in there. Touchdown, Heritage Hall. And just like that, Heritage Hall scores on their 6th possession as well. 6-yard touchdown reception from Teagan Lawson to Porter England.
Yeah, no fun to see this on senior night. But it's competitive athletics. Scoreboard's on, right? Feel for the kids. I do. I feel for the Dragons. Not a lot of guys standing on the sidelines. Plus, with the 11 out there, probably only another 15 or 18 guys down there suited up.
Purcell comes in with 40 on the roster. Only 9 seniors on this club, 13 freshmen. Young team. Kick is up, and it is actually blocked.
Got a good head start there, but it's okay.
So extra point is no good. So that's going to be a 41-0 lead here for the Chargers. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the second quarter still. Take another look at the Teagan Lawson with the fake handoff to Max Everett. Finds Porter England out there at about the 10-yard line. Good piece of blocking there by Gerard Williams downfield.
As they called his, affectionately known as Jerry, he was wearing that guy out. Good for him because, at the Division I level, at any level, if you don't want to block at receiver, you will not play. And, that's one of the things that I think goes underrated about our all-time great Charger, Wes Welker, in his pro career with the Patriots and then later on with the with the Broncos, he blocked at 190. We know Wes
Right,
was not big.
right.
We all know the story of Wes, but he would block you. And, you know, one of the many reasons he's hopefully on his way to the Hall of Fame.
I think one thing we've seen with Gerard this year, too, is he's kind of refined those areas of his game. He's kind of, you can tell he's put some focus on some of those finite details to polish his game overall. And I think it's really showing, and like you said, it will equate to the next level and a much greater impact.
That's right, and you know, he's learning to love the weight room, which is obviously imperative to play big-time college football, and which he'll do. You know, Jerry's not a great big guy, but, you know, he's strong already, but he will just that's just barely starting with that young man.
So Bo Butler set up to kick it off once again. As we said, just a beautiful night of football here on Halloween in Purcell Heritage Hall. Coming in and just taking advantage of every opportunity and playing flawless football to this point. That ball is into the end zone for a touchback. Injectable Aesthetics proudly supports the Chargers. Look on the outside as young as you feel on the inside. Follow us at Injectable Aesthetics OKC on Instagram for more info.
Big thank you to another proud supporter of our Chargers, Dr. Joshua Blue Spears. Do you want to perform at an optimal level? Come join the million other high school, college, and professional athletes and get adjusted before or after the game. For more info, follow us at JBS/chiropractic on Instagram.
Wonderful fall sports all over campus going right now for Heritage Hall. We got playoff runs happening. We've had state championships happening so far. We've got basketball starting this weekend. So just a fun time of year to be on campus here at Heritage.
Yeah, really excited about both basketball teams. Coach Nixon and Coach Sullivan. Talking to Coach Sully, you know, he's excited. Got some returning starters, and they have a big full slate of scrimmaging tomorrow. So it'll be the first time they get to go against another color shirt tomorrow, and he's excited to get that going.
Pick up a 4 on the play for the Dragons. 2nd and 6, ball at the 24-yard line. 3 minutes, 24 seconds left to go. This has been a high-powered offense and scoring explosion that we've seen from Heritage Hall so far, and also the defensive performance has been second to none here in the first half. Coach Bogert has to be ecstatic about this start for this team.
Oh, yeah. What you love about this offense as an inside linebacker, you get to go zip downhill. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of dropping to the curl flat and all that stuff. You get, as soon as the ball snaps, whichever way that quarterback goes, you go. You don't have a ton to worry about. An inside backer, contain and all that. You get to go downhill and tackle the quarterback and the fullback. And Echok's showing me something tonight. He looks good.
Short gain of 2 on the play.
Oh, my.
The pitch is out there. Nice play. Being trying to be tracked down by Trip Thomas. He's hit by Carson Phelps, our Nix Patterson featured player of the game. And on the carry there for the Dragons was Carter Bennett.
Great range by the Mike backer right there. Carson Phelps getting all the way to the boundary to make that play.
Carson Phelps, junior, 6'3", 226 pounds. We talked about him in the opening tonight of the broadcast with being our Nix Patterson featured player of the game. And he's a kid that talked about, you know, they have to keep him from playing scout team because they just can't block him. So that's pretty good accolades when they say, hey, you're a young man, you just have to get off this team, you know. So this is going to be Cash Cook trying to get around the outside. Good job there by Gerard Williams coming in.
Another loss there.
Making the nice open field tackle. So that loss is going to be pushed back to about a 2nd and 13 here for the Dragons. Minute 53 left to go. All 3 timeouts available for Heritage Hall. And we know Coach Bogert, and there's typically never a time when he's going to take the foot off the gas and try not to score in a typical game environment in the first half.
Right.
And that is Dobbins dropping back, nobody open, and that was that Andrick?
Griffin.
Yeah, that was Gabriel Griffin there on the tackle.
You know,
another loss on the play.
I would mention that we have a lot of these games that get out of hand like this. And sometimes, as much as it's hard for my fellow coaching brethren in other schools to say, they always say that we handle these games with class. You know, we're not going to beat you 85-0. Not going to do it. And we'll handle this in the second half. just like we always do. And well, what a great problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's I don't mind. I don't mind being on that side of the coin.
Yeah.
Dobbins with the give up the middle. Nice hard running there on the carry. I believe that was
Phelps. Oh,
Paul. Oh, that was number 22. We haven't called him. Braylon Francis, new running back in for the Dragons. Clock winds at 32 seconds here. This is going to be a 4th and 7. Play clock, they do have to run a play. Play clock sits at 21, game clock at 25.
And then, you know, good move, even though anything goes in the first half in varsity athletics. But Brett could have called timeout here and tried to go after him, and he's not doing it. You know, no reason.
And typically that would have happened,
sure.
trying to get some more points before you get to the locker room. So good move there by Coach Bogert. Dobbins keeps it, trying to get working back to the middle. Nice piece of running by Dobbins. He's going to have to get caught. Gerard Williams gets him right there. That might be a horse collar. That might be a horse collar coming in. They did not call it. Couldn't tell if he got just the jersey or if he got a little bit of that pad on the shoulder pads there, but no flag on the play, and it looks like that's going to end the first half.
Yeah, good half by the Chargers, 41-0 here. And again, as you can see, the huddle there by the Dragons, just not a ton of guys, and got one more game to go for them, and hopefully get back in the weight room, get some younger guys going. But great half by our Chargers.
So it's all Heritage Hall, 41-0 at the half. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back, and we'll break down first half scoring and some of the keys to what to look for here in the second half. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? That means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings. And that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition 3-1. Who loves Oklahoma?
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up, because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
this moat that we've given the name Earth to.
TR1 for primary screen. Picking up some dust. Okay, engine stop. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. The people of this world were brought closer together.
Ladies and gentlemen, during the past 4 years, these seniors have had many accomplishments on the field, on the stage, and in the classroom. During their time in the Dragon Pride Marching Band, this group of seniors have collected over 35 trophies and plaques. The rest of the Dragon Pride Marching Band and the staff would like to thank these seniors for all they've done on and off the field. We would like to wish you good luck in your future, and we'll miss you. Dragon Pride's tradition is to have the senior class give a senior salute and play the fight song One Last Time on Conger Field. Keeping with that tradition, seniors, is your band ready?
There's something special about this time of year in Oklahoma. When the heat finally breaks, when the air turns crisp, when the nights grow long and a different kind of chill fills the air. It's the season of scarves and sweaters, of hot chocolate in the stands, of Friday nights under a harvest moon. Last week, the skies opened up, rain poured down, lightning flashed, and still our boys took the field. Delays, mud, chaos, didn't matter. Because when the whistle blew, Heritage Hall made a statement. 43 points all in the first half. A masterclass in focus and execution. By halftime, the storm was no longer in the sky. It was on the field. Dominant. Unstoppable. Now the calendar is turning. 2 games remain before the real hunt begins, the playoffs, the chase for another gold ball. But this week feels different. Halloween football. The air a little colder, the lights burning a little brighter, and the cheers a little louder. We're playing for something bigger. For the love of the game, for the love of our school, and for the love of our brothers beside us. This is the time of year every player dreams about. Cool nights, the bright lights, and on nights like this, the magic feels real. This week, we travel to Purcell to take on the Dragons. Under the Halloween lights, no tricks, no games, just Heritage Hall football. The air's a little colder now, the stakes a little higher, and the fire inside burns hotter than ever. Every snap, every tackle, every moment from here on out matters. Because this is when legacies are written, when names are remembered, and when champions are made. And when that fall air turns electric on Halloween nights, when the lights come on, we'll be ready. Together, united, and unbreakable. You know what's next. Come on, here we go. Coming to you from Conger Field on the campus of Purcell High School in Purcell, Oklahoma. This is Heritage Hall football.
Leah and Whitney Real Estate is a real estate brokerage here in the OKC Metro. Leah Strickland and Whitney Moss are dedicated to their clients every step of the way. ChargerVision and the HH community is proud to have them as sponsors. To learn more about Leah and Whitney and their real estate brokerage, visit leahandwhitney.com. It's all about the power of 2. And we are back. We are about 2.5 minutes, maybe about 5 minutes away from second half action, and it has been all Heritage Hall so far. Heritage Hall leads by the score of 41-0. So before we get to the scoring recap, Steve, what's your takeaway from this first half? What did you see out there, and what do we need to see from the Chargers here in this second half?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, like we kind of talked about, alluded to in the opening without saying it, we knew, I had a good hunch how this was going to go, and I didn't see anybody punching a time card. We got after it. The effort was great. Like I say, we only get once a week, and if you're on this team and in this kind of evening on this beautiful place, Conger Field, don't want to get after it, then, and we did. And did what we should do, and the score reflects that. And there was no overlooking it. Let's get to the playoffs. Let's just handle the now. Another great thing that Coach Bogert and his staff do is they don't look ahead. And that'd be easy to do with the Bobcats coming up and look to week 11. Don't do it,
And we suspect we'll see a lot of young guys here in this second half pretty much the whole time. So we'll do our best. We might have some guys wearing some different jerseys, but we'll do our very best to stay on top of it. We'll go over some of the scoring recap here in the first half. Heritage Hall started off by forcing a fumble that was recovered by Walker Waddell on the ensuing drive for the Chargers. It was a 32-yard touchdown pass from Hudson Ferris to Gerard Williams, and that came on a big fourth down play, 4th and 24, I believe it was, Steve, and that opened up the scoring 7-0 for the Chargers.
Well, nothing better than a guy like me. Fumbles and pick sixes and interceptions are my favorite things. So love that to way to start the game, set the tone by Walker with a good lick there by the guys, and then falling on the fumble.
Following a turnover and downs by Purcell. It was Nash Iser with a 57-yard touchdown run. The ensuing two-point attempt did fail, but that pushed the lead 13-0 for the Chargers. After that, it was the first punt of the night for either team, and that was Purcell with the punt. Heritage Hall got the ball back. Well, excuse me, they did not get the ball back. On that punt, it was a 75-yard punt return by Gerard Williams to increase the lead to 20-0.
Well, we got it back for about 7 seconds. That's all we needed.
That was a punt that hit at about the 40-yard line and took a nice Purcell bounce. And the Purcell defense just kind of stopped and, thinking that we was just going to down it there. And Gerard ran up, grabbed it, got to the left side, the far side of the field, and just took it all the way to the house for 75 yards. After that, Purcell got the ball back, and it was an interception, a great interception, athletic interception by Trip Thomas over the intended receiver, Cooper Selman. And that was one of the athletic things I've seen. He took it out of midair here from the Purcell receiver.
That was probably our down for the game. That play was great. And I thought it looked like he was going to catch it. Made up the ground, and not only did he not catch it, he stole it from him.
And that led to a 2-yard touchdown run by Nash Iser. There was a penalty. There was an offsides penalty on the point after attempt by the Dragons. It was accepted, and Coach Bogert ran his offense back on, and it was a pass from Lawson to Williams for the good two-point conversion, which pushed the lead now to 28-0. Purcell got the ball back, turned it over once again on downs, and that was a 5-yard touchdown run by Jackson Echok, made the game 35-0. Following play, the following possession for Heritage Hall, it was a 6-yard touchdown pass from Tegan Lawson to Porter England, and that's where we sit right now. The ensuing that extra point was blocked. So it's a 41-0 ball game. It has been all Heritage, and running back through our keys to victory was stop the flexbone offense, match their aggressiveness, and protect the ball, and I think we've done exactly that.
Yeah, the only turnover on a 2-point try, not irrelevant, but certainly not like in the run of play. No return. So on that 1-2-pointer, we went ninja. Again, just putting things on film for Manford or whoever we play in a couple weeks to have to work on, and we don't want to say it, but you know who that's always in the back of the Chargers' mind.
Yeah, it is. It has proven to be formidable as of late. There's no doubt about that. In this series, Heritage Hall leads 5-1 overall in the series. Last year's game, barn burner, 56-41. Heritage Hall came out on top. In that game, Gerard Williams, 9 receptions for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. Max Everett had 9 tackles. David Griffin 7 tackles and a fumble recovery in that game. So many of the same playmakers that we're seeing here in the 2025 version of this contest are the ones we saw in 2024 as well.
Right, and then, looking at the breakdown of our team, we've got 16 juniors and 21 sophomores, 10 freshmen. The future is really bright. Certainly we're loving this season and want to keep it rolling, but the future's bright, and as it always seems to be. But I think the expectations will be as high as any other year going into next year, whenever this season ends, which hopefully is not for about 6 weeks.
Looking at, we talked about, we made mention of Lincoln Christian, the 3A state standings right now, or the 3A standings. Lincoln Christian, number 1, 8-0 on the year. Sulphur, number 2. Heritage Hall, number 3. Holland Hall, Plainview, Cassia Hall, Kingfisher, Berry Hill, Anadarko, and Inola. Top 10 here in 3A. So we're coming up on some great matchups here in the next couple of weeks. Once we get into state tournament action. Looking at some of those scores right now, Kingfisher is up on Anadarko 14-13.
Tight one.
Yeah, it's a tight game there. Plainview having a tough time there with North Rock Creek in the third quarter. Plainview only leading 14-3. So a bit of a surprise there. We saw Plainview at our place a couple of weeks ago, and that's a talented ball team right there.
Well, I will say that game, and this is what happens when you have such a great program. When you come to Heritage Hall, and nobody would want to admit it, sometimes that home field really, really matters. And if you recall, they started out terribly, snapped it in the end zone, we got a safety. They were not ready to play, or they were overwhelmed for a bit. When they got it right, they gave us a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think that was a 24-0 ball game to start.
Looked like we're going to blow them off the field.
And you look at that, and they came back, and so I think they had, I don't know what they had unanswered at one point, but I mean that's a 38-28 ball game. So Plainview showed a lot of moxie, and I think they're much better than that tough start that they got off to. But yeah, you have to give it up because they did not get overwhelmed and just kind of throw in the towel.
I'm wondering, this with the Kingfisher Anadarko game, a tight one, and then Plainview will probably win. I should have this better, but that second place is a big deal to get that other home playoff game because we're going to win the district again. But that second place, and I don't know who has. I should know this about who's going to. If that game maybe for second place right now between Anadarko and Kingfisher, although I think Plainview has Plainview beaten them both. I'd have to look to see.
Yeah, I would have to look. So this is Heritage Hall with the opening kickoff receiving it. That's Max Everett with the ball on his hand trying to get outside. And that's going to be that flag came in, and I didn't see.
There wasn't any white shirts around.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody around, so it's going to be interesting to see what this call is. Flag flying here at the 45-yard line. It was thrown right in the direction of Porter England, but there was Porter England was not engaged with anybody when that flag came down, so we'll get it sorted out and see what's going on.
I guarantee you one thing, it's on the white shirts.
Hudson Ferris, it looks like he's going to start the second half at quarterback. So they are going to call holding. Boy, I didn't see it, but it's not our call from up here, so that's going to move. Right. It's going to move Heritage Hall back deeper into their own territory, and it looks like the Chargers are going to start their first possession of the second half right at about the 35-yard line here.
And not a lot of flags thrown tonight. Guys are doing a good job.
So it's Hudson Ferris joined by Walker Waddell in the backfield. Ferris looking for Trip Thomas. Looks like that ball just
got away from him.
It almost looked like Ferris may have slipped on that ball, and right as he threw it, almost like a back foot came out from behind him or something.
Yeah, I would say when they talk about that one, they're going to say, "Hey, our lower body mechanics were not great on that throw." It looks like we are going to have the clock running here because the ball was incomplete and the clock's still running. So, running clock, 41-0. No reason to prolong the tough day for the Dragons.
And somebody asked me about that last week, and so what it is both coaches agree that that's the route they're going to take, and so the clock doesn't stop. This is Ferris looking for Gerard Williams down the field. Looked like there was a little early contact possibly there by the Dragon defense, but no flag on the play, so that falls incomplete, and this is going to bring up a 3rd and 10 here for the Chargers.
Well, maybe we spoke too soon. Now the clock is stopped. Maybe they just forgot.
Okay, yeah.
First. Oh, man.
So 3rd and 10, ball sitting on the 35-yard line. First drive of the second half here for the Chargers.
There it goes. Yeah, it is running.
Heritage Hall scored on every possession in the first half. looking to do the same here once again. Max Everett in motion. Hudson Ferris getting some pressure, gets it out there to to Trip Thomas. Good job on the footwork for Trip Thomas, staying inbounds, and that is going to be good enough for a Heritage Hall first down. Pickup of 11 on the play.
That was a great, coming right in our living room here and right in yours as well. That was a really great look at the accuracy and velocity that comes out of that live right arm of Hudson Ferris.
Official stoppage on the field right now. See what they're discussing. Maybe the spot. No indication of anything yet. Spark proudly supports Heritage Hall Athletics. Fuel your Charger pride with burgers, bites, and cold delights. Come see us before or after every big game in Chisholm Creek. Follow at Eat It Spark on Instagram for more.
Proud to be part of the Charger family is Dave's Hot Chicken. If you've had that, it's really good. Here, spice up your game day. Enjoy mind-blowing hot chicken from our newest location in Chisholm Creek.
Luckily, we have the hospitality door next door to us.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Spark Burgers and everything else be sounding pretty good right now.
Give a shout out to our friends from Purcell. They have some great chili we just had a little at halftime. Hospitality, thank you, Dragons. Well,
so this is going to be a fourth down. It looks like they moved the sticks and it was short of the first down, so that's what the delay was. So this is going to be 4th and 1 for the Chargers. Give is to Iser up the middle, and that's going to be good for a Heritage Hall first down. Nash Iser has had a great game. 57-yard touchdown run for Iser in the first quarter. 2-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. So Nash Iser, as I say every week, is tossing his hat into the ring for the Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the game. I don't believe Mr. Iser has got it yet this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So Everett out there, that is tackled down to the 35-yard line in Purcell territory. New fresh set of downs for Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall on the move once again.
I imagine we're going to go ahead and let the starters go a series here, and then hopefully we score, and probably be it for most of the frontline guys. That's how they usually do it.
Chargers seeking to score on their 7th straight possession here in this ball game. Ferris drops back. He's looking for Gerard Williams. Looks like it's going to be overthrown.
Pick.
Oh, and that is a nice pick on the play by Cooper Selman. The ball sailed on Hudson Ferris just a little bit, led Gerard Williams too far, and that is an interception. First turnover of the game for the Chargers.
That was interesting. Hudson, he just threw that. The guy bailed in zone coverage, and he did a good job.
So first stop of the evening for the Purcell defense, and they'll take over at their own 20-yard line following the interception by Cooper Selman.
Good player, Cooper.
We've called his name all night long. He's been a big, intricate part of both sides of the football here for the Dragons.
Hopefully keep our edge here defensively, again, because if you go to sleep on one assignment, they will crease you with this Veer offense.
So here's Dobbins. It's been all the way for Dobbins. The give is up the middle to number 18, Matthew Hall. Few times we've called Matthew Hall. One of the first few times we've called him, yes. So Matthew Hall getting into the action. Gain of 5 on the play. Nice gain on first down for the Dragon offense. Eight minutes, 33 seconds left here in the third quarter. Dobbins dropping back, looking for a receiver. That is batted down at the line of scrimmage, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it sure was. I had a little glare on the glass here up in the booth, and I was unable to see it, but I was just going by the reaction of the defensive line.
Speaking of our booth, give a shout out to the Purcell folks. This is a very nice facility that they have. 3 or 4 years old, I think. I don't want to quote me on that, but it's not brand new, but nice turf field, and nice stadium here in Purcell.
All the chairback seats right here for the Purcell patrons. Yeah, nice facility out here. So this is going to be a 3rd and 5. Dobbins is going to keep it. He finds a bit of a gap, and it's going to be right on the sticks. Yeah, it's going to be good enough for a Purcell first down.
That's the play that I would say has probably given us the most issue tonight, is just pulling in quarterback follow, if you will, on pulling it from that fullback and just getting up in there and get what you can get.
Dobbins, the leading rusher for the Dragons tonight in that rushing attack. So this is a 1st and 10, ball at the 31-yard line. Dobbins gives to the up back right away, and that is number 18 once again, Matthew Hall. That's a nice play, nice gain on that play. That's going to be another first down for the Dragons.
Yeah, Porter England saved a big gain there. Just got him on the ground, or it was going to be a chase down. I think we'd have caught him, but he was nice, hit the hole hard. Good to see still remaining a good effort from the Dragons.
Early on in this game, back as the fullback, we saw Liam.
Good to see still remaining a good effort from the Dragons.
Early on in this game, back as the fullback, we saw Liam Cummings back there, the 5'10", 200-pounder. Cummings back there, the 5'10", 200-pounder. It looks like it has been all Matthew Hall since then.
You know, interesting there. They went out of character, if you will, more of a 3-wide traditional look. It's trying to get us spread out, less guys in the box, and same stuff. But they just lined up 3 wide that time. But didn't fool us. Good job by the guys in the box.
That was Matthew Hall on the carry once again. Pickup of 2 on the play.
Weird. The line.
Looks like they're going to have another spotting issue. Yeah.
Hopefully they're still into the game.
So Purcell gains 2 yards on the respot. Still a 2nd and 8 though. I think the ball just got kicked back. So here's Dobbins with the pitch out there to Cash Cook, and Cash Cook hits a seam, and he is trying to get caught by Trip Thomas once again. We saw Trip Thomas pull him down and run him out of bounds going the other direction in the first half, but that is going to be a touchdown for Purcell. Nice play by Cash Cook.
Well,
on the 3rd and on the 2nd and 8. It's a 54-yard touchdown run.
Well, and on the, our guys downhill, our star bandit corners kind of dipped in there and allowed him to get the corner. Like we've talked about a few times, it's much easier said than done to not jump inside there, but he did there, and the guy made his pay. Good, nice play, nice execution by the Dragons.
As we said, we saw Cash Cook get free earlier in the game, and that kick is up, and it is no good.
Nope.
Kick misses low and away. But we saw the speed of Cash Cook earlier in this ball game, and we saw it again right there. Trip Thomas almost able to track him down once again, but not quite enough real estate to get there in time.
I think sometimes we maybe just a bit of an underestimation of that young man's speed, because in the back end it's all about angles, and if you come down too vertically, you will not be able to reroute, and if you underestimate a guy's speed, and that's a little bit what happened there.
So Paul Purcell has come out and done a good job here in the second half, forcing the turnover, the interception there by Selman on the first drive, and then driving it right down the field with the 54-yard touchdown run by Cash Cook. So Purcell's on the board, and showing some signs of life here, which is always good. It's senior night here in Purcell, and so all of these guys really want to do all they can to come out with a great victory tonight, or at least make it competitive. You see Brett Bogert there in his 11th season. We talked about the unbelievable record, 132 wins in his career, only 11 defeats.
He's not happy right now.
He's a competitor.
No, you don't want to see what we just saw right there. All of a sudden they're going to creases for 50 yards when they haven't. That's, as a coach, you have a lot to coach to tell. He was not happy with that. By the way, his first year as our defensive coordinator, doing a great job.
Little pooch kick fielded at the 32-yard line by Walker Waddell. Trying to find anything. Hangs on to the football. Little bit of a trickeration there on the kickoff for Purcell. Fielded cleanly by Walker Waddell, and Heritage Hall is going to take it over with in good field position.
It's like Teagan going to cruise out for this series.
Number one offense still on the field for Heritage Hall, especially following that touchdown. So this is going to be Tegan Lawson joined in the backfield by Max Everett. Heritage Hall is going to start this drive at their own 37-yard line. Lawson, the fakes to Everett, finds Porter England out on the boundary at the 40. He's at the 50.
Oh, my gosh. They're calling that
He's
back.
at the 45, and there's flags on the play.
That was a great block by Rhett Davis, and it's going to come back. I don't know what you want a kid to do. I mean, he's blocking him, hands in the front. Even the Purcell fans are saying let him play. That's tough.
So that is going to be a holding on Heritage Hall, which is going to negate the big play there from Tegan Lawson to Porter England.
It's only 10 yards, guys.
So that's going to take it all the way back to about the 27-yard line.
Not sure the mark
for the
on there.
Chargers. Lawson throwing back the other direction. We saw this play in the first half. That's Max Everett with the carry. He shoved out of bounds trying to keep his feet. He drops at about the 9 or the 8-yard line. So that is a great gain right there by Max Everett on the pass from Tegan Lawson.
Hope Tripp Thomas is okay. He went off grabbing his hand or his shoulder.
No flags on the play. Max Everett got it in his hands and refused to come down. Tripp Thomas on that far side. We'll get an update on him just as soon as we can. Very valuable player here for this Charger, both sides, offense and defense. So this is going to be a first down for Heritage Hall. Ball's at the 11-yard line, throws it out to Max Everett, looking for the end zone, and he's got it. Waiting for the official signal. There it is. Touchdown, Heritage Hall.
Hey, the good news is that official didn't pull a hammy getting down there.
No, he took his time. We waited on the call. We knew it. We knew it. Waited on the official call, and that is touchdown, Heritage Hall. That is Max Everett. 11-yard touchdown pass from Tegan Lawson. Lawson to Max Everett. They connected a few times on that drive. A very effective combo duo right there, and Heritage Hall increases the lead to 47-6, answering right back after the 54-yard touchdown run by Purcell. The kick is up by Bo Butler, and it is good.
Good kick there by Bo.
So that's now Heritage Hall 48, Purcell 6. Rebounding from the interception on our last possession, the one and only time Heritage Hall has not scored tonight. And here's another look at it. Tegan Lawson just throws it back the other direction, and you'll see Max Everett shedding a tackle here. Well, actually, I don't even know if they got a hand on him right there. It looked like he spun out of it, but boy, he looks like he doesn't even get touched. He's hit right there by Cooper Selman and eventually loses his balance at about the 11-yard line.
I know those guys with the small numbers get the pub and the carries, but I'm telling you, David Griffin is out on the edge on almost every one of these plays in spring, including that one, to get a piece to get him cut loose right there. Yep, great team execution on those couple of throwback screens. Those are hard to defend.
So Heritage Hall lines it up to kick it off once again, now leading 48-6 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. As you can tell, it's been all Heritage Hall tonight.
Hope everybody's enjoying the telecast here. It's a great time to call ball for the Chargers, and shout out to some Chargers we know are watching, starting just 6 miles down the road to the great John Powell. And former Charger lineman Eli Embry. Hope you guys are enjoying the game. Always good to know you're listening.
All family, it's a lifelong fraternity. You know all about that.
Sure.
What year did you graduate around here, Steve?
Oh, a few years ago. Not this century, brother. 1988.
1988 graduate.
Yeah, so
okay.
Do the math or don't. But no, it's rewarding every day to go to work there, and you know, a lot of my friends' kids are in the building. It is, like you say, the longer we go, the more legacies we have at the Heritage Hall School, and fun place to work.
And you and I were just talking pregame of, just the quality of individual that we have the luxury of interviewing up here in the booth. But, I mean, it's up and down. It's everywhere on campus. Just so many.
I get why it's competitive and hard in the waiting list, because there's not a lot of negative, if any, at Heritage Hall.
Dobbins with the pitch.
See, and that was great right there by Max Everett. He knew he had contained, and if you saw it, he didn't, as we know with Max, he didn't break stride at all and blew it up, made him turn back in, and here come the cavalry, and we got him down for no gain.
No gain on the play. The ball carrier was Carter Bennett, receiving the pitch from Dobbins. So this is going to be a 3rd and a long 6 here for Purcell as we approach just under 4 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dobbins with the pitch back to Selman. Selman trying to get outside, and he's not able to. That is Gerard Williams. He looks like he had a guy blocking him, and he fought through the block and able to make the tackle. Great job on the boundary there by Gerard Williams there. If Coach Bogert's going to decline this one right here with the loss on the play.
Yeah, I think he is. They're going to punt it.
So this is going to be a punting situation, the second of the night for
Well, and it
Purcell.
seems like they can't make up their mind if they're going to stop the clock or not. Half the time they're running it on incompletes and out of bounds, and now we're not running it. So, and now he wound it. I don't know.
Deep to receive for Heritage. Gerard Williams, he just gets away from it. Takes a short Purcell bounce down at about the 39-yard line.
Probably another good move by Brett and those guys right there. No need to risk. Punt returns are high risk, and no need to risk your leading receiver at 48-6 running back a punt, right?
That is exactly correct. We'll see who's coming out. Looks like it is going to be, so we do have a new quarterback in. That is going to be Harper Slavonic in here for the Chargers now at quarterback.
Freshman.
So some of the young guys now are going to get some playing time, and this is going to be a quarter and about 3 minutes of playing time here for the young ones.
Harper's got a bright future. He has great vision. I watched him the other night in JV. He was all over the place.
He was one I was talking about last week. He had a motor running out there. You could tell he was in the game, and he was fired up and ready to make some plays and do some damage here for this Charger offense. So we're going to do our very best. We might have some duplicate numbers. Slavonic is to handle that snap that was up over his head.
Well,
so we'll start letting you know what guys are in as we break huddle. There's a loss of 7 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 17. Ball all the way back to the 32-yard line.
So John Hayes is playing center right there. There you go, John.
Looks like on the carry right there is Tyler Butler for the Chargers.
Glad to see Tyler back in action. He got thrown down pretty hard a couple weeks ago and missed some practice time, and missed, I don't know if he had a concussion, but he did miss some time, so good to see Tyler back out there.
Tyler Butler, a senior, 6'1", 220.
Yeah, Tyler's a good-looking athlete, good basketball player.
Yeah, 210. Sorry about that. I put 10 more pounds on him since he came into the building tonight. So this is going to be a 3rd and 13 here for the Charger offense. Minute 38 left to go in the 3rd quarter. It's been all Heritage Hall leading 48-6. Slavonic drops back. He's going to take it himself, it looks like. Throws back across the field, and that ball is completed, and that is completed to Kobe White. It is going to be short of the first down. Very dangerous pass there for Slavonic, throwing back to the middle of the field, but was able to complete it.
Wow, no, let's go. Here we go. Well, we're going for it. That was a great play.
I thought Slavonic was going to take it himself around the right end. It looked like he had a little bit of running room, but he found Kobe White running free out there, the sophomore wide receiver, 5'11", 173. So this is going to be it looks like it's going to be, well, the scoreboard has it as 1st and 2 to go. That's not it. It's 4th and 2 right here for the Chargers. The give to Tyler Butler, trying to get to the outside, trying to get that big body working, and he breaks that tackle. We'll see what forward progress says.
He had it.
I'm looking at the spot
to
across the field. Looks like it is going to be good enough for a 4th down conversion here for the Chargers. Purcell fans do not like the spot here. There was a little forward progress before we got hit back and tried to make another attempt at it, but I didn't know if they were going to give that to him or not. But it is going to be good enough for a Heritage Hall 1st down.
Their argument's going to be that he chose to do that. And
that would be my argument too, probably, if I had my druthers, if I was on that side of the ball. So joining Slavonic in the backfield is Austin Echok.
Freshman there. Couple of freshmen in the backfield.
Little bit of a high snap give is to Echok, getting on the outside. He's at the 45, down to the 40. Great run by the young freshman.
Some kids locking up and blocking. Nice job on the perimeter by our guys. Colson rushing. Great block right there. That's the end of the quarter there, Justin.
We saw Austin Echok lead blocking for his brother, Jackson Echok, earlier in the game to spring that 5-yard touchdown run. And so good carry right there. Well, clock is 0 here in the 3rd quarter. It's been all Heritage Hall, 48-6. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro to serve Oklahoma better than anyone else. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? It means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings, and that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition 3-1. Who loves you, Oklahoma?
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up, because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
Well, here we are, final quarter of action here in Purcell Halloween night. There's been no tricks, no games. It's just been all Heritage Hall all night long, as that give is to Echok. Heritage Hall leading by the score of 48-6. And well, Steve, can you break down that 3rd quarter from us for us? You know, we had the turnover on the interception and gave up the touchdown, but came right back and had a nice scoring drive.
Well, I guess we'll give them a break. You
know, there's not perfection though. Are we going to be okay with that?
Yeah, and got to have something to do, and as a coach, you're looking for something to maybe get on them about, and maybe in a way Brett's glad that happened, is to make sure you keep your edge, and but overall, what a great performance getting on the road and coming down to Purcell tonight by our Chargers.
Harper Slavonic still at quarterback for the Chargers. The give is to Echok, trying to get a nice little push going up the middle right there. He's pushed back, but it's going to be close to a 1st down. That was a 3rd and 2 play. This is going to be a 4th. It looks like no gain on the play, or maybe about a half a yard gain. They're going to call it 4th and 2. Heritage Hall is going to go for it, of course. Heritage Hall has scored on 7 of 8 possessions tonight. Only the interception thrown. Ball intercepted by Cooper Selman here in the 3rd quarter. Everything else has resulted in a Heritage Hall 1st down. Slavonic's going to keep it himself. Nice move by the young man. Dives forward. Boy, this is going to be a right foot, left foot spot right at the 40. We're going to see what they say.
Yeah.
And that is, they're motioning it forward, so that's going to be good enough for a fresh set of downs here for the Chargers. That was a nice little jump cut right there by Harper Slavonic.
Yeah, he's an operator, man.
Harper Slavonic comes in, freshman, 5'10", 148. You expect that to change in his history here in the next couple of years here at Heritage Hall.
That's right. Yep, he's got a good frame. Dad was a great player on our staff, of course. Coach Slavonic. And
speaking of this coaching staff, boy, it's just every year quality staff, and the longevity of the guys on the staff too really keeps everything in continuity. That give is to Butler, trying to get outside. Nice run. right there by Tyler Butler. Pickup of about 8 on the play, maybe 9. Nice first down play by Tyler Butler.
And Kobe White planted that corner. He had him driving almost out of bounds. Good job, Kobe.
I thought we were getting one marked off against us right there. We approached the ball. Now we're going to huddle up. I thought we missed a flag there, but no. This is going to be a 2nd and 2. We're inside of 10 minutes. Stay tuned. Following this ball game, we will be naming our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the Game. Steve and I will huddle up shortly and put all the brains together with see what we have. Give us to Butler. He's brought down. Nice tackle on the play by Ethan Kober.
While I got a chance, I've got to give a shout out to cross country and cheer. Cross country women made history last weekend, becoming the first ever cross country state champions at the Hall. Congratulations to Coach Champney and the girls, led by 4th place individual finisher Sloan Travis. 4 more runners crossed the line in the top 25. Zelly Ellenberg, Coral Grimmett, Brooklyn Moore, Rory Lawson. Despite the points being dropped, Kaylee Norman and Karen Martinez ran strong. The Chargers scored 31 points higher than 2nd place Kaja Hall. So congratulations to Coach Champney in the first ever cross-country state title.
Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. That's Tyler Butler reversing field. He dives forward. Looks like no gain on the play. So this is going to bring up another 4th down here for the Charger offense.
And then cheer, who we know won state in the traditional cheer competition a few weeks back and was crowned the 5A state champions. Kylie Lindsay and staff, congratulations, have been prepping for game day, and Palm will be competing in game day as well. Regionals this coming weekend and then state after that. So a lot going on. As Justin mentioned earlier, still a lot going on. And the volleyball girls, what a great season, 19-10, and state semis.
4th down, Slavonic has it in his hands, trying to get to the outside, falls forward. It looks like he's going to be about a half a yard short of the first down, and this is going to be a turnover on downs
Good
for
effort.
Heritage Hall.
Good effort there. Well, and this is maybe the most important thing we'll mention, at least as much as any. Charger pride for Heritage Hall's 3 National Merit semifinalists, Stavros Crescent, Audrey Flynn, and Finn Martin. These academically talented juniors scored among the top 16,000 of 1.3 million juniors who took the PSAT. 95% of the semifinalists are expected to attain final standing after an application process, and about half of those will win a National Merit Scholarship, earning the prestigious Merit Scholar title next spring. Congrats, Stavros, Audrey, and Finn.
Unbelievable stuff right there. Congratulations, guys, on your accomplishments in the classroom. Dobbins with the give. Right up the middle. Nice tackle on the play.
Good job by these young guys on defense. That's still the first string for Purcell.
I don't see a 76. We'll have to get confirmation on who that was on the initial hit. Don't have a 76 on our roster right now.
Darn it.
But we'll sure get recognition. We'll figure out who's wearing 76 tonight. So that is a gain of 5 on the play for Purcell. Dobbins with the keeper, pitches it out there to Selman. Selman trying to get the outside, ran out of bounds right there by Sean Boyd.
Yeah, Blaine Kirk, not the first guy to dip inside there, and then that senior was blocking him a little bit.
So that's going to be good enough for a Purcell Dragon first down. Purcell moves the ball up to the 46-yard line. Trying to get some more on the board. Every opportunity it can. They've not given up in this game yet. Boy, and he is hit by a host of Chargers right there, led by Austin King.
He's still in the game? I don't think so.
Boy,
yeah, that
sure
is
looked like it, yeah.
It sure is,
Austin. Sure was Austin. Thought I had it wrong there for a minute, but boy, that was Austin King on the hit initially.
I want to give a shout out to our crew tonight, most importantly, Izzy Paskowski, the only student who came tonight. And thank you, Izzy, for coming and working a camera along with 14 grad Price Brown, always here. Alex Wynn helping out, 20 grad, and the great Luke Steelman, of course, driving the bus and running the show.
Been impressed with Izzy the last couple of weeks, volunteering for ChargerVision, and come out here and getting the best seat of the house. And there we've got Selman on the run. That is Cooper Selman off the sideline, and that is going to be good enough for a touchdown for Purcell. That is going to be a 54-yard touchdown run for Cooper Selman. Two 54-yard touchdown runs, one by Cooper Selman, one by Cash Cook here for the scoring for Purcell tonight. We've called Cooper Selman's name all night long. He has been all over the field for the Dragons. So they have more on the board, cutting the score now with the point after attempt. This one is good. So cutting the score to 48-13 here. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter and in this ball game. A big shout out to CBS Sports Radio 105.3 for powering ChargerVision this season. The station does a great job shining a spotlight on high school teams and players around the state, including our Heritage Hall Chargers. Tune in to 105.3 on your radio for some great sports talk from the KINB crew. They do a great job over there. The Perry family.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your support of Heritage Hall Athletics.
Kevin and the guys, thank you. Game day day ready with Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Dr. Matt Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, accelerating the return to play and maximizing performance through coordinated training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehab, and imaging. With years of medical and surgical expertise, Dr. Dieselhorst gets Oklahoma athletes back on the field.
What else is going on campus? Anything else happening on campus right now? We talked about basketball. Esports. Boy, another busy week for esports. Those guys do a great job. So Heritage Hall to receive the kickoff. Back to receive for Heritage Hall is number 30, Kobe White.
If you want to swell your Charger pride with great gear and support of our students in Richmond, 8 to 4 daily on school days, or at the Heritage Hall Corner on Instagram and the products, there's some awesome stuff in there.
Another pooch kick once again, and it is taken by Grant Sullivan.
That away, Grant. Good job.
Good job there, filling that. Dropped right there, and so Heritage Hall is going to take it on the 31-yard line. Yeah, I was in Charger Corner a couple of weeks ago, and man, they got some beautiful gear.
Oh, yeah.
Some new. You look like you've got
stuff in there.
Great job
for all ages. You know, from infants to the big guys. So anything you want in there, it's nice.
So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Chargers. We'll see who's in at quarterback, and that is going to be Bennett Burns in now. We saw Bennett Burns and Harper Slavonic last week, all in second half action against Pauls Valley. So good first look at Bennett Burns for the Chargers to give is to Echok. He's hit. Boy, that looked like a face mask right there.
No
and
doubt.
There it is. That came out. He's going to be tackled out about the 38, but they're going to tack on 15 for this one. Pretty blatant face mask right in front of the official. There was no hiding that one. So they're going to mark that off against the Dragons, and that's going to put Heritage Hall close into Dragon territory once again, leading by the score of 48-30. Worthy candidates tonight for our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the Game coming up periodically. Nash Iser, 57-yard touchdown run, a 2-yard touchdown run. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What have you seen out there on the field? There's a lot of guys that came in and contributed. Obviously Gerard Williams always contributing the way he does.
Gerard had a good game on defense tonight. Good job tackling. It was good to see. These are always tough for me because football is it is the team game, but I'm okay with anybody. I really am. I think these guys are great about handling that with humility and spreading the wealth.
Something we made a note of. We've made a note up here. David Griffin has had a night. David Griffin has been see all of this high-power offenses that give is to Echok trying to get loose. You see all these high-powered offenses. We see all these statistical numbers, but
and he's doing it on both sides of the ball. I know he had a sack tonight and a couple other tackles for loss, and they didn't throw it very much, but I remember a sack, and then he's pulling on their Giants, what they call their Giant stuff. And, again, it's one thing to get out there. He moves really well. He's a great athlete. But then to find and put a hat on a red shirt, in this case red, his brethren on the line, Dave Griffin.
Coach Bogert was talking about earlier, and that's given out there to Grant Sullivan once again.
Hey, good throw by Bennett right there.
Coach Bogert mentioned, you know, he wanted to see his offensive linemen really do a good job getting up to the linebackers tonight, and that if they did that, we would have to end the first quarter. So it was obvious that the running game was working. So, Coach, I'm with you. I'm saying we are going to congratulations to David Griffin, who is going to be our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the game. We'll catch up with David Griffin either on the field or up here in the booth following the conclusion of this contest, so don't go anywhere, but congratulations to a great effort tonight by David Griffin. So that's going to be first down here. Let's see, they turned it over on down, so this is going to be Purcell taking over. Probably the last possession of the game here. Heritage Hall turning it over on downs on their last 2 possessions. Do we know if we're doing it on the field or in the? We're still deciding that, seeing if we have the equipment ready. But I believe it'll be up here in the press box with us. Steve Chard will be able to sit down with David Griffin and kind of talk about the progression that, you know, David has had in his career here. You know, he's just a guy that has just become a force. Homecoming king as well, correct?
Well, he's kind of that guy. He checks pretty much any box you want to look at. You know, his future is unlimited, whatever he wants to do. Leader in the schoolhouse and great student. You know, he was voted homecoming king by our student body, and really good football player.
So we're about 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in this one. I see Caleb Niver here in the game now for Heritage Hall. New quarterback in for Purcell Dragons as well. That looks like that's number 13, Easton Resendez. Resendez.
You got that.
And he pitches it.
He said, I ain't taking it.
Pitches it over to Carter Bennett. Carter Bennett swarmed under. There's a hot potato in the hand right there.
Yeah. Got a little chuckle from the hometown fans as well.
Oh, it's all in good fun right now. That's going to be a loss on the play, so this is going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Dragons.
Coming up on a minute and a half to go here tonight.
Let's talk about that Charger Esports. They had another busy week last Saturday. Rocket League and Fortnite Box Fight squads went undefeated in their OKSE end-of-month matches, and on Monday, Jax Argo and Zach Davis threw down at Norman North High School in the OKSE Super Smash Brothers qualifier. Argo came away with 2 winners bracket victories. Apex Legends bounced back with a 2-1 win over Slidell, Texas last night. Rocket League squared off with Juggernaut Bixby and came up short in 3 competitive games. They're out number 5 and the only small school in the top 10. Shout out to Cole Lacey and Grady Murray for adding a student voice to those social media channels. Great job to our Charger Esports. Esports is a competition that's been on campus at about, I think, 4 years now. Is that right? 3 or 4 years? And just already showing incredible signs of much success, just like many of the other athletes here on campus. So we're about under, and we're approaching the 1 minute mark here in this ball game. Still a 48-13 advantage for the Chargers. 2nd and 7 here for Purcell.
Good pitch there.
Pitch goes out to Caleb Barnett.
But
he's tackled on the play right there by 81 Scott Allen. Freshman, 5'10", 140. Good play by Mr. Allen.
Good job by Caleb Niver staying outside, getting him turned back inside. Always good things will happen. It was a first down run, but it wasn't a touchdown because if he jumps inside, he's going to throw down the boundary and score.
30 seconds left in this game, 21 on the game clock. On the play clock, excuse me. This will be the last play on the evening. What a great night for football, Halloween night. Costumes galore. But a beautiful evening for some trick-or-treating and playing some football. Pitch goes out to Cash Cook. We've seen him a couple of times have some big plays.
That's going to do it.
And that clock is going to strike 0, and that's going to be victory number 8 on the year for your Heritage Hall Chargers. It was a dominating performance all night long for Heritage Hall, scoring on 7 of 10 possessions, 8 of 10 possessions. Victory. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back with David Griffin and our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the Game. You're watching Heritage Hall Football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
Great ball game tonight for Heritage Hall. Final score here in Purcell, 48-13. Senior night here for the Purcell Dragons. Also Halloween night here in Purcell. Quick roundup of our scoring as we await the arrival up in the press box of David Griffin. David Griffin, our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the Game tonight. David is a guy that has just continued to perform game in and game out. We've just seen his progression as a football player, especially in last year and this year. Quite an impressive performance. Scoring drives tonight on the scoreboard by the score of 7-0. That was following a fumble recovery on Purcell's first possession of the game, recovered by Walker Waddell. Purcell then turned over the ball on downs, which led to a 57-yard touchdown run by Nash Iser. The two-point attempt did fail. 13-0 on the scoreboard for the Chargers. Following the first punt of the evening for Purcell, Gerard Williams picks up the punt as it was bounding on the field and returned it 75 yards for a punt return touchdown. First punt return touchdown of the year for Gerard Williams. On the ensuing drive, Trip Thomas picks off a ball intended for Cooper Selman. A great interception on the play, giving Heritage Hall the ball back, which eventually ended with a 2-yard touchdown run by Nash Iser. Two-point conversion was good. Tegan Lawson to Gerard Williams. 28-0, the scoreboard read at that time. Purcell went to turn it over on downs on their next possession. Jackson Echok for the Chargers once we got it back. 5-yard touchdown run, moving the score to 35-0. Heritage Hall scored one more time in the first half. It was a 6-yard touchdown pass from Tegan Lawson to Porter England, increasing the lead to 41-0. First possession of the second half, Cooper Selman was able to pick off a pass from Hudson Ferris. Purcell got the ball back, led to a Cash Cook 54-yard touchdown run. Outran the secondary for the first points of the game for Purcell. 48-6 at that time. Purcell punted on their following play, on their following drive. For Heritage Hall, it was an 11-yard pass from Tegan Lawson to Max Everett. 48-6 on the scoreboard. And the scoring finished up with a 54-yard touchdown run by Cooper Selman. Final here in Purcell, 48-13 Heritage Hall. Coming up for the Hall next week, it will be the Star Spencer Bobcats coming to the Pop. It is the last game of the year. It is senior night at Heritage Hall at the Pop. Star Spencer comes into the game with a record of 1-8 on the year. It's been a tough go for the Bobcats coming into Heritage Hall tomorrow which will pretty much wrap up another district title for Heritage Hall. It'll be the 27th district championship for the Chargers. Tonight marked the 86th straight district win. No district losses since 2013 for this squad. So it's been another unbelievable season here for the Chargers. Unbelievable night for a lot of many deserving players on the field here. Looking at the keys to victory, Heritage Hall did exactly what Coach Bogert asked them to do. For Purcell, final game of the year next week, Pauls Valley Panthers. Also having a tough time of it this year. Heritage Hall, 43-2 over Pauls Valley last week. As we await David Griffin, our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise player of the game. Yes. Players are down there with their post-game meetings and now speaking to the family and hugging up and celebrating with your friends and your loved ones. It's always good to see here. We're going to take a break. We will be right back with David Griffin and our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise player of the game. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
It's just one day at a time, one game at a time, you just have to do it, right? And we're back, and he made it up here. Great job tonight. You were all over the field. Coach Bogert had talked about early on that he really wanted to see you guys get into the linebackers in that second level. So tell me, do you feel like that's kind of what you guys were able to accomplish tonight on the field?
Yeah, we're definitely getting better up front every game. Working hard in practice, getting some inside run, and it's showing off. I think that was probably one of our better offensive line games this
changed maybe your approach defensively as well, running against an offense like this?
It was all just assignments. My job and the rest of the D-line was literally just tackle the fullback every play, even if he doesn't even have the ball, just tackle him because you never know. And then everybody else had their own assignments. We were just keying in on assignments. It wasn't really much to it. It's just it's a good scheme for teams that that can kind of catch an edge on us. But
this is the key right there. We saw you lead blocking, and you talked about that running game really getting going. We noticed tonight, the running game just going. You had Nash Iser who had almost 100 yards rushing in the first quarter. Is it that you guys are just now? All year long it's been great, but you're really gelling and hitting stride at the right time.
It's not. I think it's not really been where we need it to be. It's not really been at a championship level, and today wasn't really even a championship level, but we're getting better every week. I'm just seeing it in practice. We're starting to really get pancakes every play in practice, and it's starting to kind of mesh up. We're getting better with our assignments, and I'm pretty happy with how we did tonight. But there's a lot of room to grow. We're not going to – Purcell's not the team we're going to play in the quarterfinals, semis, or state. So we got bigger balance for us. You got to be able to block these guys to block the next guys, and we just got to keep improving, getting better, and keep focusing on our technique and just mentality.
We talked about it. I asked you a little bit about it a while ago. Some of these last few games, it's no secret that some of those teams have been struggling this year. So what have you had to do to stay up, to stay sharp, to stay motivated, to keep the pedal down all the way into the deep state run?
We just know we got to get better. I think it's not good to have the one in the loss column, and I think that's been motivating us, keeping us humble because we're not here to beat Purcell. All respect to them, but that's not our goal. So, but to be able to beat those teams, and whenever we get into December, you got to be able to just beat up on these teams. So the assignment was go out there, drop as many points as we can early and often. we did that tonight. A little slippy coming out of half. I think we got a little soft out there, but we refocused. We locked back in, and we eventually got the JV guys in, and so yeah.
And those minutes are so important for those guys.
Yeah.
You know, when you guys can set the table early on like that. Well, we've seen you do a lot of great things on the field. I think the best thing we've seen you do on the field is put on the crown a few weeks ago, Mr. Homecoming King.
Yeah, that was fun.
So congratulations to that, David. Congratulations on a wonderful season all the way around. We can't wait to see you, get after it here on the deep playoff run, and wish you the very best the rest of the year. And we hope to talk to you again up here in this booth. Okay,
appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll take our last break of the night. You're watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network. Thank you.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro to serve Oklahoma better than anyone else. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? It means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings, and that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition.
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up, because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
48-13 is the final here on Purcell Halloween night. It's been a great night of football. It's been a great night of action. David Griffin, our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the Game. We appreciate his contribution all year long in the way that he has led the offensive, defensive lines as a team captain also for this team. So remember, next week, join us at the Pop. Star Spencer Bobcats come in 7 o'clock. If you're unable to make it to the field and to the stadium, remember right here, ChargerVision will go live at 6:40, and that is senior night as well. So get there early and make a lot of noise for these Heritage Hall seniors that have contributed so much. That's going to be a wrap for us here in Purcell. Like I said, final 48-13. You've been watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network. We'll see you next week.